Guinness International Champions Cup sees Serie A come to Philadelphia, and both Inter and Roma have the chance to go top of this group and put pressure onto Manchester United for a place in the final. There were a couple of feisty matches between these teams in the Italian league last season, as Roma first won in style in Milan, while the second match was overshadowed by a couple of violent incidents involving De Rossi, Icardi, Juan Jesus and Alessio Romagnoli. The tension is still there, particularly between De Rossi and Icardi. Inter missed out on Champions League qualification again, but their fifth place finish did at least stop the rot that hit them so hard after their treble success under Jose Mourinho. Roma finished second under Rudi Garcia last season. The Frenchman's tenure started breathtakingly with 10 straight wins. They finished well behind Juventus in the end, but problems at Juve suggest it could be an open race in the coming season. And we hope that some of that rivalry and that tension spills over into this match. Both teams have 3 points. They got there in different manners. Roma in the straightforward traditional way with 1 win and 1 defeat, whereas both of Inter's games have finished all square at the end of the 90 minutes and have then been decided on penalties. That is the format. We'll have a look here and see De Rossi's reaction. No problem at all with Icardi, a smile there after the tension between the two that led to De Rossi being left out of the Italy squad after his clash with the young Argentine striker. 4 changes for the Inter side. Japanese international Yuto Nagatomo comes in with Juan and Villa. They said goodbye to some veterans in the summer. Javier Zanetti is now the club's vice president. Milito, Samuel Cambiasso all departed. They hope another Argentine in Icardi will supply the firepower to get them back into Italy's elite. Still no place in the starting 11 though for Freddy Guarin, who was at the World Cup with Colombia. Nagatomo takes over the captaincy for Inter, and De Rossi takes over from Francesco Totti, who is one of the players left out, rested. Really, there's quite a long way to go before the start of the season for the Italian clubs. They do start back 2 weeks later than the English teams who are playing in this competition, which might well be a factor in some of the results that we see. Some expensive and experienced players gone out. Ashley Cole, Francesco Totti, Mary Benatti and Sedu Keita all rested. The guys coming in aren't exactly rookies though. De Rossi and also Urbi Emanuelson, a recent signing from Milan, Mattia Destro and Davide Astori, who was stolen from under the noses of Inter to join from Cagliari. Andy Hinchcliffe is alongside me, John Driscoll, in the commentary position for this one. And there's top rivalry between these two teams. Roma have been on the up in recent times. Inter hoping to recover some of their quality from the past. And we will see where this one takes us. It's Roma, the Giallo Rossi, and the red, and a little bit of yellow. And Inter in the white, so no black and blue shirts for the Nerazzurri. Canadian referee is just about ready to go, and it's Inter who get us underway. They've fallen away in recent seasons. Roma have come on strong in the Italian league. We'll see which of these teams, if either of them, can challenge Manchester United for a place in the final. United will be hoping that this game is all square at 90 minutes. That would suit them, because there are 3 points for a straightforward win inside the 90. 2 points if you win in the subsequent penalty shootout. If it's a draw, 1 point for the losing team in the penalty shootout, and no points for the losing team in 90 minutes.
As you talked about there is a bit of spice between these two sides. Normally pre-season games can be a little bit pedestrian. I don't expect this one to be that way at all. Both need a win to actually give themselves a chance of progressing in the competition. I think for Serie A next season as well, it's going to be a tough domestic campaign for both these sides. So a win here just lays down a marker.
And that laid down a marker as well. A solid challenge by Vidic. Taking out Nangalat.
That's the one thing Inter have to be careful about. There's lots of very talented, versatile players in this Roma midfield who look to break at that back three for Inter. And Vidic, of course, with all his experience, very solid defensively, just overstepping the mark there, and this is early pressure. on the Roma, on the Inter goal.
And we don't see him up against his old sparring partner Ashley Cole, who's just also moved from the English Premier League into Serie A. The Englishman left out. Roma on the attack. It looks like Lalic is lining this one up for a potential shot at Handanovic's goal. Smacks it straight into the Inter wall. Lalic is an international, former international teammate of Vidic, both Serbs. Vidic doesn't play with the national team anymore. Understandably, some of the World Cup players still being given a breather. And as they start a week later than the Spanish teams, and 2 weeks later than the English Premier League teams, you can understand why with the Italians, and also why their transfer business hasn't yet been done. The eye-catching signing for Roma was Cole. The likes of Emmanuelson came in as well, but it's Juan Iturbe who is the man they spent the money on. He's a Paraguay international when he's just 16. He switched to play for Argentina since then. And a foul by Emmanuelson.
It's a decent passage of play from Inter, just dominating possession here. It's important that Botta and Icardi, when the ball goes up to them, that it sticks, they keep hold of it, allow their key influential midfielders to get up and into the game.
Dodò, the Brazilian, smartly done. He's got support outside of him. Decided to cross it, came off Astori, the Italy international, who apparently so very nearly was on his way to Inter instead of Roma.
With Inter playing these three centre-halves, Vidic at the heart of that back three, the two wing-backs in essence in Dodò and Nagatomo can push forward and provide width for them. But it's all about keeping possession well, and those players can get over the halfway line and be the supply line really for the front two.
Nagatomo is very experienced. He played in the World Cup for Japan, not for as long as he or they would have wanted. Missed a penalty against Real Madrid. It seemed a little bit of a half-hearted penalty shootout after the game. Players and commentators alike have got to get used to these pitch markings. It's a temptation to think that the line that is painted for the Eagles plays some bearing, but it's for the soccer pitch is the wider of the lines. And a chance here, a mistake by Roma, and there could be a shooting chance. It's a curling effort by Kuzmanovic, but not too close to the goal of Skorupski.
Roma, worst enemies there, just overplaying in the back, trying to stab it into midfield and keep the ball moving. But they're under a lot of pressure. Inter doing well. There's lots of white shirts in that Roma half, and that's why they pinch the ball back. It's not an easy strike to make at the end. Trying to adjust your body and whip that into the top corner, but it's good pressure from Inter.
When they met in Serie A at the San Siro in Milan in October, Roma raced into a 3-goal lead. They were red hot in that period. Fell away towards the end of the season, and then that bad-tempered game that we were talking about just before kick-off was a draw in the return. Here's an opportunity for Roma. Totti resting on the bench. Destro, he was their free-scoring player last season when he was fit after a lengthy spell out injured. He's got a responsibility. They've got a free kick. Checks Inter.
The lines on the pitch might just help the officials in terms of making correct offside decisions when balls are played, and players are running through those lines. It makes it slightly easy for the linesmen just to pick up whether the flag should go up or not.
Icardi putting pressure on Skorupski. Came into the Roma team at the very end of last season, the Polish international. Nagatomo forward, and there was a barge in the back there by Castan.
It's been a lively start from both sides. There isn't any hints of sides feeling each other out and getting a the feel of the ball early and just keeping hold of it. They're looking to get forward, get that key opening goal as quickly as possible.
Turvey's first involvement is to be fouled. Juan Jesus, the guilty man. The new owner of Roma, James Pallotta, was the first foreigner to own a Serie A club. He's already the owner of the Boston Celtics. He described Roma as the most undervalued sports team in the world, which is not particularly a romantic way of viewing his new acquisition. He was quickly followed into the Italian league by the Indonesian Eric Thohir, owner of DC United, who's now taken over Internazionale, and apparently he's told the coach Walter Mazzarri that he expects to see attacking football and 4 at the back. Not necessarily what Mazzarri is doing at the moment, looking for the flag here, and it does indeed check Inter again.
You see where Inter finished last season, so far off the pace. Everybody was behind Juventus, but Inter, what, 42 points behind the title winners. You think, well, they've got to do something about that, and that normally means spending an awful lot of money, bringing in 5 or 6 top quality players. And I think it's easy for Inter, in terms of their financial state, to bring in top players and make a big difference this season.
Gary Medel has been linked with a move to Milan. Here's De Rossi. Roma make good progress.
Turbay is a real danger, and the problem for Inter is we're playing with the wing-backs. Dodò could find himself pushed upfield trying to join in an attacking sense, and Turbay is looking then to spin in behind him, so it's a lot of hard work for Dodò up and down that left-hand side. If Roma dominate possession and Turbay gets on the ball, Dodò has a lot of work to do.
This is a Turbay on the ball now, just working himself a shooting opportunity. It's a long way out from goal, though. It's a pretty comfortable save for the goalkeeper of the quality of Handanovic. Touch around the corner by Icardi for Inter.
So I've just mentioned that ball up to Icardi. As the centre forward, he needs to get his chest on that, maybe draw a foul, but keep hold of the ball and bring his team up the field.
Was a youth team player at Barcelona, Mauro Icardi. Played in Italy for Sampdoria before being recruited by Inter. All of that, still only 21. Castan, another one of the South American contingent. Emmanuelson then tries to spin around the corner, was clipped by Nagatomo.
It's clear that Inter are looking to put a lot of pressure on this Roma midfield, as they've done here, to win the ball back high up the field.
And now Botta will try to take advantage of that. It was De Rossi who was caught in possession. Icardi coming round the back. He read that the cross was slightly overhit. Nicely done by Dodò. And initially looked as though he just got himself enough room to get a decent cross in, decided then to slam it straight into the defender and leaves Roma on the counter. Castan is just seeking a little bit of help here from the referee. Now this would be a blow, wouldn't it? Is that the hamstring, a thigh problem that he's got there? If he is signalling to be taken off, at least to get some treatment.
Can't take any risks. He's such a key player, Castan, for Roma. He was last season, he will be this season as well. It's so early in their pre-season schedule. I know this is a big game, of course they want to beat Inter. You can't take any risk with a key centre-half.
It doesn't look good, does it? He and the medical staff suggesting that he's going to need to be substituted here.
Another play from Dodò, actually. It all came from Inter pressing Roma in their own half, winning the ball up the field, and then suddenly forcing Roma into doing some defending. To see, really. And Castan picked up that injury on the far side of the field, so that was really just the attacking play from Inter, nothing to do with where centre-half picked up that hamstring problem, seemingly, that he has.
It was a real setback, wasn't it? Romagnoli, the youngster, could be, looks like he will be the replacement. Some kind of problem, isn't it, with that right leg, knee, thigh? It's probably the end of Leandro Castan. 40 appearances last season. Now we're hoping desperately to get him fit for the start of the next one. Got more games to play this coming season. Roma, they're back in the Champions League after 4 years away. Had no European football at all last season, which does give you the opportunity to concentrate on your league campaign. Inter are also back in European competition. They'll be playing in the Europa League. Again, missing out on the Champions League. Player up at the moment, Inter.
It's actually De Rossi who's just stepped into the back four just while they decide, Roma, on what kind of change to make and who comes on in place of Castan.
Seem a little bit slow off the mark. No, you wouldn't necessarily be expecting a player to have an injury problem so early in the game.
As soon as Castan went down, he made it pretty clear he wasn't going to be able to carry on, and he was down for a couple of minutes, so it seems strange it's taken this long to get a replacement on.
No, it's Benatia, which makes more sense. It is centre-back or centre-back. Other than the youngster coming on, Romagnoli could have played in the same position, but it's Benatia, very highly rated Moroccan international, Mehdi Benatia. And an effort at goal that had to be saved. It was worth the snapshot by Kuzmanovic. A decent start here by Inter.
There's plenty of power on the shot. The keeper did the right thing. If he's worried about catching it, just punch it clear. Kuzmanovic on the turn, strikes it well enough. Keeper has a clear view of it. It's maybe slightly moving. That's why the keeper can't take any chances. Skorupski just puts his fists on it, makes sure the ball goes away to safety. Don't try and catch something like that, easily slip through the fingers.
Serbian midfielders had the best. 2 shots, really. Unlucky there for Roma. The makings of a really nice move. Lalic just couldn't quite reach it.
They've not found it easy, Roma, to get into the Inter half, but when they do, they have players like Pjanic and Lialic, Iturbe, real quality attacking players to give Inter plenty of problems at the back.
Handanovic, the Slovenia goalkeeper. Last touch off Botta. Ricardo Botta, another Argentine player for Inter. There's been a long tradition of that. The number moved on. Those players left over from the great spell that they had under Mancini and then under Mourinho. 5 consecutive Serie A titles, 06 to 2010, capped off by the treble as well. But since then, they haven't been able to renew in the way that they probably could have and really should have. It's Pjanic. He's been quiet in the opening quarter of an hour.
I think it's not been easy for him. He's been starved of any space to work in, and that's down to how Inter have approached this opening 15 minutes, really pressurised that central midfield area, and Pjanic has hardly had a touch.
It's a forlorn chase for Teodestro. Rudy Garcia, 50-year-old Frenchman who's just signed the new contract extension through to 2018. This is Dodò, one of the Brazilian contingent. And tried to just cut back inside beyond the substitute Benatia. Felt the full force there of the Moroccans' power.
Not sure how much real contact there was here. It's clever play from Dodò. We've seen him get into wide areas, attacking areas on a number of occasions. Just knocks it past the centre-half. I'm not sure he's really felled in the way that he went to ground. Sure that he was just chopped maybe the legs or caught across the chest. He just made the most of that, and this is a decent position for Inter.
They definitely started this game the better. We've seen Roma start slowly before in these matches. Whereas it wasn't a bad idea, was it, to play it in low by Kuzmanovic. Jonathan to Dodò. Given away by Mbaye. Vidic on the ball, but deeper in the field than Roma would have liked. They can break away now with Nangolan. Icardi quickly closed him down. The forward pass was deflected. Actually reached where he was intending one way or another. And they will try and go again with Nangolan. Back to De Rossi. Opens it up now to Emmanuelson. And nicely worked again, and it's come back towards Icardi. Just lurking on the edge of the penalty area.
It's the first real threat we've seen for Roma. Putting 4 or 5 passes together, really intelligent play down the left-hand side. He does well to actually pull this cross back. He's got no one in the 6-yard box. So the pullback was absolutely the right thing to do for the wide man.
And they worked it short. And they wasted a pretty decent position that they worked hard to get into there. It's very unlike Pjanic.
What we've seen from both sides is a great appetite to try and close the opposition down and win the ball back high up the field. There's just been a lack of quality football going forward as yet.
Rudy Garcia said Roma was one of the most ambitious projects in Europe. Might be looking for a replacement central defender. I mean, there are options within this squad. Let's hope that Leandro Castan's not too badly injured. Florenzi was cautious there. Florenzi again. Benatia to Astori. Manuelson was rushed into playing the ball. working hard here to retain possession, Roma, and yet staying inside their own half.
Roma, it's patient possession football under severe pressure though from Inter.
And now Destro could be away. Oh, it was a good idea. No back pass on that. He tried to cut it back to pick out Nangalat.
Dodò does really well here. Talked about the amount of ground he's maybe going to have to cover defensively. Chases all the way back here. Destro tries to do the unselfish thing and pick out his teammate. Inter working very hard off the ball.
Vidic was asking for the free kick for the back pass, but it was a genuine attempt to control the ball, wasn't it? The interception. Maybe touched by Benatia, but it felt very kindly for another red shirt. Rossi turns, he was clipped, and then went down slightly theatrically and thought better of making any more fuss about it. Lalic to Pjanic, who was at the World Cup with Bosnia-Herzegovina. Story, who didn't make it. Many of the Italy players who were on the verge of making the squad and didn't go, they've strengthened their position with the way it worked out for them.
Inter will be delighted with that, because Roma kept the ball there for what, maybe 8 passes in their own half, and then decided to go along with their story. That's exactly what Inter want, just those long, hopeful forward balls, offside decisions, and Inter could win possession back. And it all stems from just getting, what, 4 or 5 bodies in the Roma half and making life very difficult for them to play out from the back.
Now, quick opportunity for a drinks break for the players. Used to playing pretty warm temperatures in the Italian capital, a bit warmer than Milan, where Inter are based.
Both managers will say it's part of the pre-season preparations and training we would do this, so maybe, even though it is a game, a competitive game, we just want to be able to just make sure our players are okay and give them some water, because it is, again, it's part of the build-up to the domestic season.
Roma will kick off the last weekend of August against Fiorentina, which is a big game. Inter play Torino. Also Mazzarri there in the midst of the Inter players. Not just a drinks break, is it? This is a proper timeout and tactical instructions being passed on by the coaches. Cole made the move to Roma, and he said that more British players should do that, expand horizons. It's a wealthy league, the English league, and he's taken a pay cut to go and play for Roma. It's commendable, isn't it? He had bigger offers to go and play softer football elsewhere.
Absolutely, it is a culture shock in terms of the football that you play, the way you have to think about the game. I think it's very different in Italy. It certainly is in Germany and Spain as well. So, credit to Ashley Cole. Yeah, you're right. He probably could have signed for another club and gone through the motions, but he's really challenged himself.
And we might well see him later. We've seen lots of substitutions in these matches, as obviously the managers are keen to go through the squad, have a look at what they've got, try out different options. Kuzmanovic has done well to squeeze a cross out from there. It was well cleared by Nangalan.
Kuzmanovic has done well. He's popped up in a couple of different positions. We've seen him in central areas taking shots at goal, then he'll get into wide areas, and it's that versatility, that ability of players to play a variety of positions that keeps defences guessing.
The cross was squeezed in, headed away by Emmanuelson. One back though for Inter by Nagatomo. Florenzi has found Icardi. Destro was almost in the way there, wasn't he? Made the wrong movement. But again, they're patient.
Look on the right-hand side for Roma, they've got Icardi and Florenzi, who's playing at right back. He's more of a midfielder. He'll get forward as well, so Destro has to stay out of the way.
Now they could have some defending to do. Oh, crucial touch by Florenzi. Kuzmanovic, see the goal gaping. Botta keeps it moving, and Villa used his strength to hold on to the ball. And Vidic. Jesus.
Florenzi showing what a clever player he is. I said he is a midfielder really by trade, playing at full-back. It's a really quality defensive header, just flicking it out of the way of the attacker.
Play again by Jonathan, and now the cross is in again. Once again, though, it's Emmanuelson who got it away. Nagatomo to Jonathan. And the first time attempt at the finish by Dodò.
I don't think Dodò really wanted that ball. It was gunned at him, and just instinctive made his mind up to try and get the shot in. Using the side of his foot, I think he was caught by surprise. Jonathan really pings this ball at him. He just stabs it goalwards, and he's nowhere near in the end.
The 22-year-old is technically on loan from Roma, but in reality it is a transfer. The transfer dealings with Italian clubs work differently from elsewhere, more complicated. He said fixing his old teammates now for his new team would be like running into your old girlfriend when you're out with your new one. Kuzmanovic and Villa. Fizzed into the feet of Jonathan. It's a nice take by the Brazilian. Villa will go again. This touch was off Alessandro Florenzi. Kuzmanovic for Inter. Good tackle by De Rossi. It's the best of passes, but it was to be frank about it, it was a rank poor pass back to Pjanic, floated up in the air, all the momentum went out of it and he couldn't control it.
This is the problem when you have the chance to break, you need a bit of quality. At this stage of the season, players tend to be rusty, as sharp as they will be in a few weeks' time, and that's a perfect example there. Chance for Roma to break. And just gift the ball back to Inter very cheaply.
There's a trade-off, isn't there, for players who went to the World Cup? They're probably less rusty because they've been playing relatively short time ago, but whether tiredness and minor injuries play a part later in the season remains to be seen. Saw Isco playing for Real Madrid the other day, who didn't go to the World Cup, and just, he looked clumsy. Florenzi. Has to work with De Rossi. Florenzi can go on here. And he rushed his cross in the end and he's ballooned it way away from the target.
He's a forward-thinking player. He's playing it right back, and we've seen what a good defensive job he can do, but he will break forward. He'll give and go. That's what he does here, looking to run in behind Dodò, who just goes to sleep. Just whenever this ball just bounces up, just kicks up just before he goes to cross it. He's a much better crosser of the ball than we've just seen there.
Dodò trying to shape that ball forward to Kuzmanovic. It's controlled by the... One by Villa in the midfield. Now conceded by Botta. De Rossi is a one-club man. He's 31 now and he's had opportunities to have gone elsewhere, but always decided to stick with Roma. Not quite as impressive a stay as Francesco Totti, who's the club captain. 6 years his senior, but still not bad for a top-quality player. Could have gone and played more Champions League football and earned more money over the years. And there's a draw about Roma.
Rossi obviously wants to stay at Roma, but he's such an important player in modern football as well. That holding midfielder just keeps the game ticking over for Roma and allows Pjanic and Nainggolan to break forward, join in the attacks, and that's why he's crucial to the way that Roma play.
It's Nainggolan with the touch there. Another one of their new arrivals from Cagliari. Once again, it's not a straightforward signing. Here's a chance for Iturbe to run. Well, the goalkeeper was off his line, Handanovic, but it was an almost impossible angle to squeeze it over him.
Iturbe is very quick. He's just got to be on his toes, and that ball is played over the top of defenders. He's got to be expecting it.
Icardi goes over. Benatia is saying that the fall was exaggerated there by Inter's number 9.
I do agree with Benatia because it's more slip more than anything else. He buys another very cheap free kick. He's off balance. He knows he's going to give the ball away. Just rolls over onto the floor, and the referee buys it and gives the free kick.
Interesting challenge for a referee, not used to reffing it to Italian teams. Not that I'm suggesting there's a lot of know-how about Italian players winning free kicks, manipulating situations. It will be Dodò to take this one. Decent shape on that, well headed away by Benatia.
Vidic is up from the back. I just think from that wide area, really, you need to be swinging that ball in towards the goal to give players like Vidic something to attack.
Jonathan giving them something to attack. It was Icardi who got there. Good footwork, though, by the Polish goalkeeper, Skorupski. Pjanic, who probably produced the most memorable moments of this tournament so far, with his goal against Manchester United from inside his own half. Starting this move again now. Picked up by Vidic. Vidic saying that he got the ball. Strictly speaking, it's not what's at issue, is it? Depends how you get it, isn't it?
You come through the back of a player. Vidic is experienced enough to know that if you do get a touch on the ball, if you go through the back of a player, you're going to give the free kick away.
Well, again, the lines there left on the pitch and help the Inter defence form themselves into a line, but it's a ragged old line as it comes in. And a flying punch away by Handanovic. It was offside.
That's brilliant goalkeeping from Handanovic. Does absolutely the right thing. He thinks he can get there. He's got to brush everybody aside and make sure he gets a decent fist on it. Really good, positive keeping.
Played in all but 2 of their Serie A matches last season. Good play by Nagatomo. It opened up for him. Uses his pace to get into a decent area again. Well defended by Astori. Dodò was physical to get there. He left Iturbe on the ground, but Roma collect the ball and they break. And Iturbe to try and use that pace. What he did, and he was away from the challenge. He did his best to try and stay on his feet there, Iturbe. And in the end, the contact from Juan Jesus sent him sprawling.
That's where the big centre-half does not want to be, isolated against someone as quick as Iturbe. He's got to take the centre-half on when he's in a position like this. The winger is quicker than him. He gets past him, just loses his footing, and when he goes down, he's always going to pick up the free kick.
Pjanic try and weave some magic here for Roma. It's good ball in, excellent defending by Nemanja Vidic. How many times have we seen that thing That kind of thing from Manchester United over recent years.
The key thing he does here is make sure he gets to the ball first, doesn't worry about who he's marking. He knows that if he gets to the ball first, Benatia is not going to score. It's brilliant defending from Vidic.
Might be more to do. Roma have a corner. Whipped into the near post. Story got the first touch on it. Lalic squeezes it back in. Good clearance by Villa. And the shot is spilled. There's a slightly poor handling by Handanovic.
The Roma strikers or players should really be following this in, just rusty again. As soon as shots go in on keepers, you're always taught to follow it in case they spill it. Handanovic does just that. Angelan with the strike. It's difficult for the goalkeeper, just kicks up in front of him, but no one in the Roma shirt is taking a chance there.
Nagatomo. Nemanja Vidic. Up to Jonathan. Now Icardi sniffing around the penalty area, blocked off though by Benatia. Some of the best balls out there by Skorupski, and they could be made to play the price. Stabbed back to him by Pjanic.
They do have to learn their lesson, Roma. Trying to play out from the back, they're taking huge risks. Just gifting the ball back at times to Inter in very dangerous areas.
Rossi spreads it out and finds Florenzi. And the veteran De Rossi again. Now with Jalic. Nangalan. And it'll be Emmanuelson. Faded out towards Florenzi in a miscontrol. Quick recovery though by the Italian. One back again, one back smartly actually by Botta. Helping out the midfield, the defence. Spread it wide again to Botta. De Rossi completed more passes in Serie A than any other player last season. Someone who makes them tick in this kind of position.
That's what he does so well. He just drops really in between the two centre-halves at times, and that allows Florenzi and Emmanuelson, the two full-backs, to push on, get in advanced positions, and it's just that ability De Rossi just to keep hold of the ball, doesn't give it away cheaply, as those full-backs can go and join in over the halfway line.
Another pass by De Rossi. Nangalan trying to open them up, just got a little too straight there with that pass. No chance for Destro to beat the goalkeeper.
I've seen a lot of Mattia Destro, top scorer for Roma last season, but he's finding it very hard up against three centre-halves. Your movement has to really be spot on, of course, in terms of fitness. You're not quite up there yet. You're going to continue to make those runs, and hopefully one of your teammates will pick you out.
Andreolli into Kuzmanovic. Misplaced pass this time by Ruben Botta. And again, lively play by Nagatomo. One of the players recalled by Inter. Not mass changes by the coaches from game to game in this tournament. Botta to Villa. He spreads it out again to Dodò, willing runner down his left side. It's a lovely bit of skill though by Florenzi. Certainly wasn't finding Rosette there, was he?
Certainly been a decent half. Both sides have shown a lot of industry and appetite, closing the opposition down. Just really haven't seen the quality that we would expect from these two.
Definitely a few cobwebs that need blowing off here from these two Italian teams. And Iturbe just blowing hard. Scored 8 times last season for Hellas Verona.
See it just rotating his front three really. Iturbe going out to that left-hand side, Destro coming out to the right, and Jalic playing down the middle. I talked about it before, that versatility, the ability of players with the brains to play in a variety of positions is so important in the modern game if you want to win things.
Certainly no panic there in the heart of the midfield by Roma. They've worked this situation tidily to Emmanuelson. Jalic again, and on to Iturbe. Another set piece for Inter to defend. Taken quickly by Iturbe. It's a little careless by Daniele De Rossi.
Just a little lazy. He talked about cobwebs being blown away. It's just been rusty, certainly in an attacking sense from both sides, just sloppy. And in their final ball into the box, there's been a real lack of quality, and I'm sure we'll see that change in the second half.
You might see the likes of Ashley Cole drinking in an all-Italian match, but handy one for him to play some part in, of course. Greatly experienced player in international football and Premier League football. The first Englishman to move to the Italian top division since David Beckham. There hadn't been many before that. Not in recent years, anyway. Now Florenzi. Villa. Botta turns and has played it wide to Nagatomo. There were 3 players initially available. If it been able to swing it in first time, he opted to retain possession. Build again, Jonathan again to Dodò. 2 Brazilians link up, only 1 to aim for in the middle when he did play it up. That was Icardi, didn't get that far.
That's the major problem for the attackers of both sides. There's just so many defenders around them, just simply outnumbered. Free kicks in wide areas in this first half. Just a tug of the shirt from Florenzi. Just clips Kuzmanovic as well. But this is a real opportunity closing in on half-time. They've got to really concentrate here, take a breath and whip in a really dangerous ball for the likes of Vidic to attack.
Could be the last chance of this first half. Dodò with the outswinger. It is well attacked, and it's the opening goal scored by Vidic. Superb header by Inter's central defender, making a mark with his new club. He's not just about defending, he weighs in with crucial goals as well. Excellent delivery by Dodò, and a fine header by Vidic.
Well, it's a decent ball in, but I think it's fabulous work by Nemanja Vidic. It's poor defensively from Roma. Vidic just makes it his. He gets across, what, 2-3 Roma defenders there. I've seen him do it time and again for Manchester United. Just his strength and his power No one stays with him. It's not an easy header. It doesn't power it, just guides it, glances it into the far corner. You can see what that goal means to him.
Well, after 10 major trophies in 8 seasons with Manchester United, he decided it was time to move on. Going straight up against his old teammates, of course, in this competition. He's now looking forward, like coal, to a new challenge after a long time.
If you're defending against Nemanja Vidic, you can't allow him to get a run on you. There's 3 Roma defenders there. No one steps in the line of fire, steps into his way to make life hard for him. He's got a free run to the ball. That is always going to spell danger.
Feels for the handball against Vidic, and the Canadian referee Jeff Campbell just took a moment before giving it. Jesus, Jonathan, goal scorer Vidic to Mbaye. And it's half-time in Philadelphia in the International Champions Cup game between Inter and Roma. And it's that man, Nemanja Vidic, that has made the difference with a goal from a set-piece, super header. And at half-time, it's Inter leading this all-Italian clash by 1-0. Welcome back. It's Roma who get us underway at the start of the second half, trailing by that 0-0 against their Italian rivals, Inter. Roma in familiar colours. Inter in all white. One of the teams taking the opportunity in this Guinness International Champions Cup to show off their new season fashions. The Italian clubs just a little behind everybody else in terms of their pre-season preparations. Roma were only back on the 15th of July, and some of their World Cup players still not involved. Maicon and Torosidis. Gervinho, who was hoping to be here, but they had a problem sorting out his visa in time for him to play, so it looks as though he won't play any part in the tournament, which is a shame for them. They've got a good record against Inter. Haven't been beaten by them since 2011, 5 wins and 4 draws. But Inter scrapped hard for their first half lead, Andy Hitchler.
Absolutely, and they haven't really changed the way they're going to go about the game. They're going to continue to put pressure on Roma high up the field, and I feel that is the right approach, because the key players, the creative players for Roma, have struggled to get into the game. Players like Angolan and Pjanic, Lialic, we just didn't really see them in that first half.
No Totti in the Roma starting team, no Cole either. So did Keita, also just rotated out. Not pushing too hard on the experienced players. Pjanic wanted to take it quickly. Andreolli wouldn't let him, but they do get on with it quickly now, Roma. And a chance for whipping this one in. Oh, what a miss! Glorious opportunity for Destro.
Well, chances for centre-forwards don't come much better than this, and I'm not sure whether he's just put off slightly by the flight of the ball. Is it over the top of Nemanja Vidic? It's a brilliant play, a great ball in by Florenzi. Destro does everything right, just peels off Nemanja Vidic to find some space, to find the space he needs, surely, to make it 1-1. It really is an incredible miss. Wonderful ball in, does everything right, Florenzi. The centre forward, you have to score from there.
Just wonder whether he's trying to head it with too much power and lost the split second in which he needed to control the header as well.
He's possibly trying to just wrong foot the goalkeeper, head it back from where it's come. Type of range, what, 6 yards out, you keep it on target away from the keeper, you score. He tries to be too precise.
13 goals in 20 matches last season, and that included 4 months out with a knee injury, 7 in the last 8, despite Roma running out of steam at the end of the season. So he finished in good form.
The chance came from some quick thinking from Iturbe as well. Florenzi made that move down the right-hand side, a quick free kick. Iturbe found the right back who delivered a great ball in, and really Roma should be all square.
And Jonathan. Florenzi went diving in, it's got beyond him though, and it's left a little bit of a gap here for Inter to try and exploit, and then the cross was too close to the goalkeeper, Skorupski. To Rossi. Roma showing a little bit more urgency at the start of this second half. Vidic scoops it. Clip there on Iturbe as he had to come back to get that.
Roma really going to have to show some guile and some patience here, because Inter, having taken the lead, playing 3 centre-halves, 5 in midfield, they can get plenty of bodies back behind the ball. If they're well organised, Roma will find it hard to break them down.
Florenzi down that right side again. Benatia, who came on as an early injury replacement for Castan. Awkward moments. Oh dear, is it that? Go out of play. Check between the officials. Little shortcomings in his footwork on the show there for Skorupski.
Talked about the attacking players being sloppy and looking rusty as well. And the goalkeeper there has given away a very cheap set piece. Surely it's gone out for the corner. Eventually the referee has got the decision right, and Inter will have their corner.
I thought he signalled that straight away. I think the players didn't realise. Dodò will take it. 22-year-old Brazilian, just joined Inter from Roma. Set up the first goal for Vidic, who's lurking on the edge of the penalty area again. Ended up in the air by Astori. Laxalt pinged it into the feet of Pjanic, did well to get it back to him, and then De Rossi's given no time on the ball. Benatia looked around, didn't quite like the picture that he saw. Florenzi, Destro leaves it to run through to Iturbe. Smarter stuff from Roma. Iturbe again to Destro. He's missed the best chance of the game. It's a much clearer chance than Vidic's. And here's Destro. He's at some point in there and offside.
It's a much more positive Roma than we're seeing in the second half. Of course, that stems from conceding the opening goal in the game. They have to chase it now. Seeing their key players further up the pitch. Pjanic starting to orchestrate things just as he dinks this ball forward. It's clearly an offside decision in there. It's a straightforward one for the official on the far side.
Destro, another one who missed out on the World Cup, has played 5 times for Italy. Massive inquests in Italy after their second World Cup failure in a row. Of course, in the Euros in between times, they did really well. And they've got lots of good players still. Good play by Botta. It's Pjanic, though, who got the challenge in. Strong stuff by Nangolan. Blood-curdling scream there. Nangolan and Jonathan. A yellow card is shown to the Roma player.
The tempo of the game just seems to have risen. The temperature has risen as well. Players flying into challenges here, and Destro's just really late when he slides in. They're clearly not playing the ball. He's really trying to injure the Milan Inter player. He's just nowhere near it. Just leaves that trailing leg there and catches the Inter player and deserves his booking. you say that booking is down to the frustration of that golden opportunity that Destro missed.
Destro again, working hard, try and right the wrongs.
We're seeing Destro just really drift into wide areas. Iturbe is now playing more as a central strike with his pace. We're hoping they can play that ball over the top and use his pace to get in behind Vidic.
If you win one of these games during the 90 minutes, you get 3 points. If it's all square, then you go to a penalty shootout. The winning team from the penalty shootout gets 2 points, the losing team gets 1 point. And if you lose in the 90 minutes, you get no points. These two teams each have 3. Manchester United are on 5. Their remaining game is against Real Madrid. So these two would need to win in the course of the 90 minutes to jump above Manchester United, because they were both beaten by United. So then United would win the group. And of course, we've seen Real Madrid chopping and changing their team a bit. So it's well within the realms of possibility that Real Madrid put out a stronger team and win that game. Here's Pjanic. And Iturbe was quickly. Good fighting challenge though by Villa.
Villa's done really well. He's a big man, but he gets around the pitch really well, determined to make his challenges and win the ball back for his side. Did well on a couple of occasions back to back there.
Castro was onside, but he couldn't control the volleyed pass. Jesus came, did well, the Brazilian. To launch the counter-attack as well. Dodò back again to Juan Jesus. To Rossi. Angelan, Pjanic. Trying the slide rule. Wasn't quite set up right.
Well, if they're going to play those balls in behind that inter-defence, really it's Iturbe. He's the only man who's going to be able to get onto it with his pace. Playing that ball for Destro, he doesn't have a chance.
Same could be said of Icardi at the other end. Too far in front of him. Daniele De Rossi to Emmanuelson. Signed on a one-year contract, Emmanuelson. Can play different roles, but Ashley Cole has been brought in as well, and you imagine that Ashley Cole will be starting the season. Emmanuelson's got more experience of playing in Serie A, in Italian football. 28-year-old, 33 appearances last season for Milan. It's been a lean couple of seasons for the two Milan Giants. Not so long ago that they were playing each other in the latter stages of the Champions League. The Italian league faces its challenges, particularly stadiums and relationships with supporters. In terms of producing good footballers, still doing that bit. It's a good goal-scoring year just gone as well. Over 50 years since there were so many goals per game in Serie A. And here's an opportunity again for Dodò to break into the penalty area. Roma have just about swept it up. Just to finish that stat, there are only 10 fewer goals scored in Serie A than there were in La Liga last season. Premier League was only another 12 ahead, so they're not pretty close, the big leagues. There is received wisdom that Italian football is more defensive. Stats don't particularly stand that up. It's more tactical. Worry about the minutiae of tactics more than football fans in other countries. That's a good effort. Fizz just wide by Angelan.
It's a great piece of defending from Nemanja Vidic. They give the ball away fairly cheaply into Iturbe. Just runs into the big centre half. This is why Vidic has been brought to Inter to defend like this. Just stops Iturbe in his tracks here. When he breaks for Angelan, does the right thing, catches it sweetly enough. Krhin goes for too much power to keep it on target. Whatever the range is shooting from, keep it on target, work the keeper. Pulls that well wide in the end.
Angolan missed out on the Belgian squad for the World Cup. Lots of good players in those positions. Going from Cagliari, and again one of those by now pay some time deals. Dodò to Villa. Was he just coming from an offside position there? Ruben Botta, I think he was. No, it's the corner that's been given.
It has been picked up. He took the shot, took a deflection. The officials have given the set piece rather than free kick to Roma.
And once again, it's Dodò trying to do damage to his former team. Posted up towards the back post, away by Marcatori. He's got to get this right in this situation, and that, I would say, was pretty sensible play. That was at the Stadio Olimpico. I think the ball boy might have been returning that ball a bit more quickly.
So Nagatomo was very fortunate there, just laboured when he took possession. Those three Roma players breaking forward. If he'd lost the ball, they were in big trouble.
Roma's new owner is promising a new stadium, one that they own. Stadio Olimpico is owned, I think, by the city of Rome. It's shared with Lazio. Similar situation in Milan, with Inter and Milan. I hope they're not all coming on at the same time. Oh, it is. Right then, take a deep breath, everybody. Totti and Cole are there. So Keita, so Uchan. Uchan, a 20-year-old that they have just bought from Fenerbahce. Destro didn't get the opportunity in the end to make up for the miss. Manuel's on as well. So Totti on with no real fanfare. Deserves a fanfare where he goes, doesn't he? What an amazing job he's done for his home city club over the years. He's the captain in 1998.
He's going into his 23rd season with Roma. I tell you what, he still looks sharp. That goal he scored against Real Madrid, little dummy, then got in the end of the cross and finished it really well as well. He's in great form, 37, still going strong.
World Cup winning, could have gone anywhere. It's about anywhere in the world game. Would have earned more money, would have played more seasons in the Champions League. I don't think he would ever quite have been loved as much as he is amongst Roma supporters. It's a case for just staying at one club for your career. As long as you're happy, they're happy.
I think the major problem these big stars have is keeping the agents happy. Because you will maybe want to stay with the agents, of course, will maybe think about moving you on. That's where the big money is to be made.
Not the kind of man who can be pushed around, though, is he, Francesco Totti? I suppose you could make a case that he might have been appreciated slightly more around the world had he decided to move, to get a spotlight move, you know, to Real Madrid or somewhere, into attacking. And it's turned behind. Story, the man that they nicked from Lazio, just the point of joining their city rivals.
When we're making all these changes, you do have to sort yourself out pretty quickly, and Inter looking to take advantage of those changes that Rudy Garcia has just made. Two.
So 4 after the corner is the question for now. Krhin and Laxalt, 2 of the players, and it's delivered again. Once again it was Vidic. Well, there was more pressure on him this time, but probably not quite enough.
Roma just simply aren't learning their lessons. Benatia closest to the man, Vidic, but you've really got to stop him making his moves. You can see Benatia is concentrating on the ball, and Vidic is chopping and changing his position. It's just such a powerhouse, Vidic, that you're not shoulder to shoulder with him, he'll cause you problems. We've seen that in the first half.
Pretty Guarin there as well. Kovacic. And the goalkeeper. Shake hands with everybody who's coming on and going off. The substitution's going to take a couple of minutes. Kuzmanovic is gone and Wheeler's gone. It's Carrizo, the goalkeeper. So 5 changes there for Inter. For Roma, and Ashley Cole's first touch, just possessed, and he wins it back again here, the Englishman. And Iturbe, Uchan, Sergio Keita, he'll provide some real experience. Really short of experience with the likes of Dotti and De Rossi, but Sergio Keita coming in on a free after a brief spell with Valencia, and Ashley Cole, both on free transfers. Incredible experience, the two of them, with a bag full of medals. Keita primarily with Barcelona. Lively start made by D'Ambrosio. Keita, Totti to Uchan. Trying to figure out whether this actually might be a slightly stronger Roma team. One or two of the guys you would expect to start the season, I think, coming on now. I guess Rudy Garcia's trying to work out just the same.
You look at the Roma squad compared to Inter, it is much stronger. There is that strength in depth and really want some quality, but you're absolutely right. The experience that they brought to the club in Keita and Ashley Cole will be vital if they are to be successful in Serie A this season.
Foul by Danilo D'Ambrosio.
Just can't dwell on the ball because Iturbe is a great attacking player. We've seen that. He's got pace and wants to take defenders on, but he'll work hard for the team as well. Closes D'Ambrosio down there and picks up the free kick.
Nelic to Cole onto Nangalan. D'Ambrosio, throw for Inter. Ambrosio again. Cross was deflected up into the air by Benatia. Laxalt wants it on the edge of the penalty area, and it will instead come out here to Nagatomo. What a strike. Inter lead by 2. So many changes. Still slight chaos around the pitch, but no second thoughts there by Nagatomo. He lashed that one into the back of the net.
He scored 5 goals last season, Nagatomo. I just wondered whether he went through his mind, should he take a touch, should he take control of the ball before he shoots? But he does well, because it's not easy when it's warm to get up and down the pitch, and he does that. He takes a chance, gets into the penalty area. He could have taken a touch here. That ball is spinning wildly. He does well to control this and get the power to beat the keeper. There's absolutely no chance the keeper's going to stop this, but Nagatomo does well to concentrate there, keep his knee over the ball, keep it down. And simply the power that takes it home, and that could wrap things up for Inter.
Well, he had bad memories of this tournament with the penalty miss, but going back into the starting lineup today, the experienced Yuto Nagatomo got forward pretty well from that right wing back role. Often if a team goes 2 down midway through the second half, you might question whether a substitution might be made, but Rudy Garcia's probably made enough. Nangolan, there's no curl on that at all, halfway up that stand.
It's really a waste from Nangolan. They've just gone 2 down. They need to be patient, keep hold of the ball, keep probing, get it into wide areas. It's just speculative from that kind of range. To hit the top corner from there will be asking an awful lot.
This time Nangolan goes back to the goalkeeper. Just had to double check there. It is still Skorupski. Didn't sneak off in those mass substitutions. Carrizo has got a good record, the sub-goalkeeper, from penalties. Quite sure it's the same as Louis van Gaal in the World Cup with Tim Krul, but well, Roma would be happy to go to penalties from this situation. Romagnoli, the young defender, we saw in the first half, didn't we, when was the injury to Kestan. Oh, damn, this is bad, isn't it? It's because he's made the substitutions. Now, Benatia, I think he's probably just a blow in the back. So off he goes. That's 2 central defenders down. So, Romagnoli on. Sanabria on. Borriello on. Sanabria, former Barcelona youth team player, just 18 years of age, paid €4 million for it, could go up as high as 10. I suppose they hope it does, because that would mean that they were winning trophies and he was making appearances and scoring goals. This where the goal that we're seeing. I was just wondering if that was the incident where Benatia picked up his injury. Didn't see any evidence of it.
About the effectiveness of the wing-back formation. Ambrosio, the left wing-back, is crossing the ball, and Nagatomo making up the ground down the right-hand side to apply the finish. That formation that Inter and Mazzarri has used in this game has worked well. Nice touch by Uchan. Well swept up by
Vidic. Said in the first half he didn't look like a man whose days at the top level had come to an end. I see nothing to change that view. But I suppose you might say it hasn't been played at the pace of a game at the very top flight because of the circumstances, but he's looked impressive. Here's Ashley Cole and Nangalan. Still getting to know his teammates. Ashley Cole is now rapidly becoming famous. Photograph of him not quite joining in with his teammates in the pre-season photograph, looking literally on the fringes of things. He's learning the language. It's a bit of learning Italian. Laxalt.
To say the Inter substitutes have really livened things up. They're looking sharp, they're keeping possession well. You're 2-0 up, 75 minutes on the clock. You just got to really be sensible here, just keep the ball away from Roma and make life very hard for them, and that's what Inter are doing.
Here's Totti. Totti forward to Sanabria. And again, it's Vidic who comes across, makes the interception look like child's play. Lively run by Kovacic, another one of those players recently back from World Cup duty. Inter can attack again. Through to the score of the second goal, Nagatomo. Romagnoli came across to clear. Ranocchia and Mbaye. And it's the goal scorer, the captain for the night, Nagatomo. Hands it over to Ranocchia. Who is the club captain, taking over quite a responsibility, taking over from Javier Zanetti after 800 and something appearances. And straight from captain to vice president of the club. By young defender from Senegal, Nangalan. Facing towards his own goal. Headed across to Florenzi. Throw to Inter. Less than quarter of an hour now for Roma to try and turn this one round. It's a bad scoreline for Manchester United, this. Because for the time being, at least, Inter would go to the top of the group because they'd be getting 3 points from this. They're in the one ahead of Manchester United. United would just need the draw to top the group, but they are playing Real Madrid later. Here's Guarin. Oh, lovely play until the finish.
He's pretty much everything right. Uses his pace and his power, just shrugs off Romagnoli quite comfortably here. Romagnoli can't really go to ground and try and win this ball and give a penalty away. That would be game over. Just no real quality contact in the end from Guarin.
Everybody that we haven't seen more or less coming on now. Calabresi, Paredes and Balassa. Nangalan off, along with Florenzi. Had another decent game at right back. And a story as well. Calabresi's 18, Balassa 19, Paredes 20. Average age has just gone plummeting downwards.
It's a great thing about competitions like this for the younger players at clubs. When there's 5 Roma players been away at the World Cup, it just gives them the opportunity to travel with the first team and get used to playing football at a much higher level.
Sanabria, now Totti. Well, in a way it was clever from Totti. He was trying to win the throw, but in reality what he's done is hammer the ball. And I don't know whether there was a bit of his foot in there as well, but that's an awkward one for Kovacic.
It's not really one that the physios can treat, I don't think, because Totti, you're right, he doesn't think, just plays it off. Kovacic hits him where really you do not want to be hit with the ball.
Yeah, thank you for winning a throw-in by doing that to me.
If he does have any grandkids, he'll be able to say one day, Francesco Totti did this to me.
Here's Freddie Guarin. Not sure how Colombia will look back on their World Cup. They wowed the world with some really good performances. When originally they went out to Brazil, everybody probably thought that wasn't a bad showing, but we saw later what happened to Brazil. Might look on that as a missed opportunity. Inter breaking again. A third now, we'll just about wrap it up. And it was into the side netting. Wasn't too far away. An own goal there by Balassa.
It's a horrible one for defenders. You feel you have to put your foot in to try and block the cross. That's what Balassa does here. They're getting caught really at the back, short in numbers. So doing well to get back. Once you stick out a foot like that, we've seen it before, could easily kind of knock you into the back of your own net.
Another set piece, or more nervous defending. Laxalt, who's the player who got something on it there, the young Uruguayan.
I tell you, Roma throughout the game from set pieces have been very poor. The keeper's not been dominant enough. Big lads at the back haven't dealt with anything that's come into the penalty area, and they really have suffered.
Doesn't help that from the goalkeeper, does it? Silvestre coming on. That's it. And Bonazzoli as well, Federico Bonazzoli, 17-year-old. Second time that we've seen him in this tournament.
Vidic, one of the players that have gone off for Inter, he's really slipped into the setup seamlessly, hasn't he? We know what an experienced player he is, good player that he is. He's settled in very quickly.
Good goalkeeping this time by Skorupski. Goal to Andreolli. Seydou Keita. Good change of scene for Seydou Keita, like Ashley Cole. It's the advanced stage of his career, but he's more travelled. Malian, who's played in France and Spain and China. Now to Italy. Borriello. Experienced striker, Marco Borriello. Had a failed spell at West Ham. He signed on loan and was pretty quickly injured.
Walter Mazzarri has made all these changes for Inter. The game plan hasn't changed. They're closing Roma down, putting a lot of pressure on them high up the field, and that's something that we're going to see from Inter this season. Going to put a lot more pressure on the opposition.
Well, by Krhin on Uchan. Krhin, a Slovenian midfielder, just recently arrived from Bologna. Captain Ranocchia. Uchan again. What's the trade-off here, Andy, for a coach making so many changes and still learning something? Because the game is obviously disrupted by having so many changes. Most of the players have now been changed.
You just have to look at it, and the coaches will certainly look at it as part of the preparations for the start of the season. That's why they have so many changes, just to give everyone a run out, bringing them over, of course, to America. They want everyone to play as much as possible as well. So in a strange way, they're not too concerned maybe about the results. It's about getting everyone in the game.
And here's an opportunity and a good save. Sanabria played in cleverly by Totti. Good work by Carrizo. Krhin got away with the clearance, really, because he made a hash of it first time round. Laxalt gives it away. Uchan comes in. Freddy Guarin.
There's a great little ball from Totti in behind that into defence. But Carrizo does well. It's a decent save. It's a comfortable save in the end. It's all about his positioning. He knows the angle is tight for Sanabria, so he makes sure it stays tight. He stays on his feet, stays big. Not easy for the lineman to put that ball past him.
Unfortunate there for Calabresi. His first touch was really good there, the 18-year-old. Ashley Cole to Uchan. Inter with Freddy Guarin. Heavy old touch there. Bonazzoli almost apologising to Freddy Guarin. It's just another one of those passes that showed that he's had a couple of weeks on holiday.
Yeah, he was right though. He just feigned to shoot there, drew a couple of the Roma defenders towards him. You're right, the weight of that pass, if he just slides that ball forward with a little less weight, his teammate is in on goal.
Borriello. Chancy ball played by Mbaye. Totti, as ever, with the vision to open it up. Flipped in towards Borriello, but easily clearing him.
Have to go back to that chance that Destro had right at the start of the second half. He'd have put that ball in the back of the net, made it 1-1. A very different game on our hands, but once he missed that chance, just the fire seemed to go out of the Roma attacks. They've had very, very little in this second half, and it's like Inter are going to deservedly go on and win the game.
And again, just after the changes, the second goal was scored, wasn't it? After the first set of substitutions, Botta has managed to squeeze a cross in. It will come as far as Uchan, and he's scuffed his shot a long way wide of the goal. Well, Walter Mazzarri will be enjoying this victory. Might be getting themselves an extra game a couple of days from now in the final. Group winner from this group plays the group winner from the other group. Simple as that. But for a manager in a pre-season tournament, you learn as much in defeat as you do in victory.
Just the result is one thing, it's how you play during the course of the game. You can play really well and lose a game. Looking at the way Inter have gone about things, I think Mazzarri will be very pleased with the result, but also the way his team have worked off the ball. They've closed Roma down, not allowed them to settle. They've shown really high levels of fitness considering how early in their pre-season preparations they are. I think Inter have looked the fitter side to me, and that's carried them to victory.
Clumsy challenge. Kovacic has taken a couple of kicks since coming on. Do without that. Again, Croatia went out of the World Cup at the group stage. Also might look back on it as a missed opportunity. Work by Sanabria. And again, right at the end, Inter working to the game plan, closing Roma down, high up the pitch, stopping them playing. The Shout doing the same again, Seruketa. Some of these Roma players think they're going to get an easy ride playing in Serie A and plenty of time on the ball and all of that, the likes of Keita and Ashley Cole. I think they know now that they're not.
Stage of preparations would have been easy for Inter just to sit back and say, OK, we'll have a nice game of football and see how it goes. That's not been the way Mazzarri has approached this, and it's worked.
Guarin was deflected, and it was a difficult save for Skorupski to make. In the second minute of 4 being added on, the end of this game, Roma would have to score twice now to take us to penalties. They haven't looked like scoring twice. Easily the best chance, Mattia Destro, really early in the second half, to score at 1-0.
Really tight games like this is about fine margins. The first half was fairly tight in general play, just Nemanja Vidic making a move and Roma going to sleep defensively. That key opening goal in the game just changed the whole complexion. Roma started well enough to start the second half, but that chance for Destro, once it passed them by, they just seemed to lose the real appetite for the game, and they've really struggled since then.
Uchan, foul by Krhin. Last chance. Last chance that they're going to get anything out of this game, Roma. Carrizo to fire in a decent-looking ball. It was met by Borriello, but there was enough pressure on him. No fizz in the effort. By Mbaye, battling to take control of it again. Mbaye. Freddy Guarin. Lots of speculation as to whether he'll still be an Inter player come the start of the season. Understandably, I think the coach wants to know one way or another whether he's happy to stay. Got a yellow back in his own penalty area. Cole got an awkward ball. Look at the Inter players around him, and Guarin is the one who takes it away. And they shot on the ball there, Freddy Guarin, but he's not giving it up, and that's a foul, probably the last one of the game. And victory for Walter Mazzarri and for Inter. Comfortable enough in the end. It takes them to the top of the group for the time being, and they'll put pressure on Manchester United. A goal in both halves of this one. They were the better team. Nemanja Vidic with a super header late in the first half, and then Nagatomo with a super shot. They wrapped up their victory. Inter have beaten Roma by 2-0.
3 points for Inter Milan. Takes them top of the table in Group A, puts a bit of pressure on Manchester United. Inter go to 6 points. Manchester United need a result in their match against Real Madrid. Even a losing penalty shootout would do, but they need something to top Inter Milan in Group A.